is Subhas Chandra Bose speaking to you from Tokyo. Countrymen and friends, in April last, you heard my voice over another radio in another part of the world. Now I am in Tokyo, and I am accepting the hospitality of the broadcasting station here in order to speak to you again.
In this struggle, there is no going back, and there can be no faltering. We must march forward and forward till victory is achieved and freedom won. Inqilab Zindabad. Azad Hind Zindabad.
तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें आज़ादी दूंगा. On the 23rd of January 1897, in the historic city of Cuttack, Odisha, a child was born who would challenge an empire and ignite the flame of armed resistance against colonial rule. Subhas Chandra Bose, a name that would echo through the corridors of history as Netaji, the revered leader who chose blood and sacrifice over compromise. Born to Janaki Nath Bose, a prominent lawyer, and Prabhavati Dutt, young Subhas received his early education at Protestant European School in Cuttack, later attending Presidency College. Deeply influenced by Swami Vivekananda's teaching at 16, he found his spiritual compass in the Bhagavad Gita. In 1920, brilliance brought him success. He passed the prestigious Indian Civil Service examination in England, securing the 4th position. Yet his heart burned with a different purpose. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre of 1919 has shattered any illusion of serving the British crown with dignity. झुक सकेगा न अब सरफरोशों का सर, चाहे हो खूनी तलवार का सामना, चाहे हो खूनी तलवार का सामना. सर पे बांधे कफन हम तो हंसते हुए मौत को भी गले से लगा जाएंगे. ऐ वतन, ऐ वतन. In an interview clip, it was said, his resignation from the Indian Civil Service was not merely a career choice. It was a declaration of war against imperial subjection. Here was a young man who rejected privilege for principle. In April 1921, he resigned, returning to India where nationalist fervor awaits him. Under the mentorship of Chittaranjan Das, Bose plunged into the independence movement, joining the Indian National Congress. वतन की राह में वतन के नौजवान शहीद हो. वतन की राह में वतन के नौजवान शहीद हो. While Gandhi preached non-violence and Nehru advocated constitutional method, Bose emerges as the voice of radical nationalism. He opposed the 1928 Nehru report that recommended mere dominant status, demanding complete independence, which is Purna Swaraj. At the 1938 Haripura session, he was unanimously elected Congress president. He advocated economic planning, industrialization, and established a national planning committee. Re-elected in 1938 at Tripuri, defeating Gandhi's candidate Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. His victory revealed the growth rift between the Gandhian faction and the radical youth. His vision was clear. India needed socialist authoritarianism, at least temporarily, to rebuild after centuries of exploitation. His differences with Gandhi's approach led to his resignation. In May 1939, he founded the All India Forward Bloc, considering left-wing force for immediate assertive action against British imperialism. When World War II erupted in 1939, Bose saw opportunity where others saw crisis. Arrested for organizing protests, he was placed under house arrest in Calcutta. But empires cannot cage eagles. On January 17, 1941, disguised as Muhammad Ziauddin, an insurance agent, Bose slipped through British surveillance. His journey through Peshawar, Afghanistan, the Soviet Union, and finally to Berlin remains one of the history's most daring escapes. In Germany, he established the Free India Center and formed the Indian Legion from approximately 4,500 Indian prisoners of war captured in North Africa. Through Azad Hind radio broadcasting from Nain, his voice reached millions in India, electrifying the masses. Germany's lukewarm support disappointed him. In 1943, he embarked on an even more perilous journey by German U-boat and Japanese submarine to reach Southeast Asia. On July 4, 1943, Subhas Chandra Bose arrived in Singapore. Revolutionary leader Ras Bihari Bose handed over the Indian Independence League and the nascent Indian National Army to him. On October 21, 1943, at Singapore's Cathay Building, Bose proclaimed the establishment of the Provisional Government of Free India, Arzi Hukumat-e Azad Hind. He assumed multiple roles: head of state, prime minister, and minister of war. Azad Hind had its own bank, currency, civil court system, and stamps. 9 countries recognized this government in exile, including Germany, Japan, Italy, and Thailand. The Indian National Army, recognized under Bose, swelled to approximately 43,000 soldiers. It included the historic Rani of Jhansi Regiment, a combat unit of women led by Captain Lakshmi Sehgal, marking a revolutionary step for women's participation in armed forces. His battle cries resonate across countries: Delhi chalo and तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें आज़ादी दूंगा. दिल्ली जाएंगे हम अपने हिंद बनाएंगे, हम दिल्ली जाएंगे हम अपने हिंद बनाएंगे. अब फौजी बन के रहना है, दुख दर्द मुसीबत सहना है. अब फौजी बन के रहना है, दुख दर्द मुसीबत सहना है. सुभाष का कहना चलो दिल्ली चल के रहना है. In March 1944, alongside Japanese forces, the INA launched the Imphal campaign, breaching British defences and reaching Moirang. For the first time, Indian soldiers fought their way onto Indian soil, hosting the tricolor. But military success eluded them. Allied air superiority, supply shortage, and the monsoon turned victory into retreat. The Battle of Imphal and Kohima resulted in catastrophic losses. By 1945, with Japanese defeat imminent, the dream seemed shattered. On November 5, 1945, the British made a catastrophic masculation. They began the court-martial of INA officers at the Red Fort, the same place where they had tried the last Mughal emperor. The three officers, a Muslim, a Hindu and a Sikh, stood together symbolizing India's unity. They faced charges of waging war against the king. But the trial became a lightning rod for nationalism. The Congress, led by Jawaharlal Nehru, Bhulabhai Desai and Tej Bahadur Sapru, formed the INA Defence Committee. Nehru himself donned barrister's robe for the first time since 1920. Across India, millions erupted in protest. Hindu, Muslim, Sikhs and Christian marched together. INA Week from November 5 to 11, 1945 witnessed unprecedented communal harmony. The British Empire's carefully constructed narrative of divide and rule crumbled. Though convicted, the three officers received remitted sentences and were released as heroes. But the damage to British authorities was irreversible. In February 1946, the Royal Indian Navy mutinied. In January, Royal Indian Air Force personnel struck. The armed force, the very foundation of colonial rule, were turning nationalist. Prime Minister Clement Attlee would later admit in 1956 that the INA, not Gandhi's civil disobedience, was the decisive factor forcing British withdrawal. On August 18, 1945, a Japanese bomber carrying Subhas Chandra Bose reportedly crashed in Taiwan. The man who had defied empires perished from severe burn. Multiple commissions investigated. The Figs Report 1946, Shah Nawaz Committee 1956 and Khosla Commission 1970 concluded death in the crash. Yet the Mukherjee Commission 2005 stated Bose's death could not be proved. The mystery endures, keeping alive the legend of a man who refuses to surrender. Today, across India, monuments honor his memory. Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose International Airport in Kolkata, the Subhas Chandra Bose Setu in Odisha, and his hologram statues at India Gate stand testament to his enduring impact. His legacy extends beyond military campaign. He demonstrated that armed resistance and international alliance were valid strategies in the freedom struggle. He championed economic planning and industrialization, ideas that shaped independent India's political under Nehru. He proved that women could be equal warriors, establishing the first combat women's regiment in modern Indian history. He united India across religious divides, showing that national identity transcended sectarian differences. Every 23rd of January, as India celebrates Parakram Divas, the Day of Valor, we remember not just a freedom fighter, but a visionary who dared to dream impossible dreams. He taught us that freedom demands sacrifices, that dignity cannot be negotiated, and that true patriotism transcends personal ambition. In the word of Netaji himself, freedom is not given, it is taken. And take it, as he did, with blood, sweat, and an indomitable spirit that continues to inspire generations.